we will see y'all. See?
Oh, you're really struggling. English.
Words, how do good. Hey, it's the VGBit BitCast. It's episode 13. Today is December 24th, 2017. Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
What is Christmas?
Huh?
What is Christmas?
What is Christmas? Well, okay, technically it's not Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. All right. Shame on me. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, what is, What is the story?
What is the story?
Why are we here?
The guy comes in the sky with reindeer and presents. And
Steals our cookies.
and
That
steals
son
our
of a bitch.
cookies.
I needed those. I left them out so they would harden up a bit. Because you bake them, they're too soft. It's not good.
Soft cookies are always good.
They are. But you need them crunchier. The outside edge.
At any rate, I am Daniel. I'm your host of the podcast. I'm joined this week with TJ.
That's me.
And, of course, as always, Michael as well.
That's me.
So, guys, it is Christmas Eve.
Mm.
For some reason, we're not taking a break from this.
No, we need to be out here. Because these people, they're coming home. They're probably driving home from their family shit. And they're like, I'm bored. And they're like, oh, look at that. VGBits just posted a new podcast. I'll listen to that on the drive home. And that's what we're here for.
Probably like, what are these guys doing?
Go visit your family.
No, we got to create content.
Actually, I have to do that today.
Yeah, you do.
I have a long drive. I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, so, well, what do you say we get into it? When we talk about what we've played this week. And also there's a few other things I failed to prepare, but there was a comment this week on one of the videos. TJ knows what this is. Let me pull it up right quick.
Oh, I can tell you.
Yeah, it was. I sound like Neelix from Star Trek Voyager. So I'm just gonna stop for a second. It's like, do I really sound like Neelix from Star Trek Voyager?
Just that line you just said sounded like Neelix.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Like it's not even that you sound like him. It's that there's little tiny things in your voice that Neelix does.
Oh, is it the inflections?
Yeah. And I mean, your voice also hits a lot of the same pitches as his.
Well, that's true. I can't help my voice.
Right. No, I mean, it's nothing bad. I mean, everybody's voice is different. Neelix has a very distinct voice. It's not a bad thing. It's just funny.
I'm flustered. I wasn't expecting that. When I saw it was like, you sound like Neelix. I was like, wait, what? I had to stop. At first I thought what he was saying was Neelix as in something completely different from Star Trek Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, Voyager's kind of old.
Yeah. Like late 90s. Yeah.
So I spent a good 10 minutes just searching around everything that was Star Trek related, not Star Trek related in Neelix. And there's not a lot out there. So.
Yeah, I did the same. I was like, the only Neelix I know is from Voyager. And I Googled it and I was like, I think that's what he means.
I was going to do a whole bunch of voice comparisons today, but time crunch did not allow. So maybe I'll do something.
We'll just do a whole. We'll get a Voyager script.
Oh God!
And we'll just dub you over Neelix.
Oh man,
It'll be a good time.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I think it'll be awesome.
If we got time, we'll try and do something like that.
We get some makeup. Just do you in the whole.
No.
Superimpose your face over Neelix.
No. No.
I don't think either of us are that talented.
No.
I don't even know how to superimpose anything.
It would look like a bunch of globs stuck to my face. Have a whole bunch of balloons and stuff because we have no molds for silicone.
Just be like clay, just Play-Doh, orange Play-Doh.
Hold my face down and be like, we'll try something. No, we won't. Anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and kick things off this week for what we've been playing. I wanted to touch on that first before we get too deep into stuff. This week, I ventured out and played Getting Over It with Minute Foddy.
Minute Foddy.
Bennett Foddy. I didn't say minute. I said Bennett.
I heard minute.
I'm sorry. I slurred. I got to enunciate better. So I had bought it, and Michael has been playing the game and then completely and utterly rage quitting at times, which, by the way, is hilarious.
It's a good time, yeah.
I tell you what, I can understand 100% now why you rage quit on that game. It's unbelievable at certain instances. I mean, I had trouble at the tree right at the beginning. It's like 5 seconds into it, I'm like, clunk, 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 tree. Mother? Trying to get out and learning the physics of the game. And I seriously, 100% believe that the physics engines of that game does not like the game itself.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It doesn't want to work with it. Because I would sit there and I'd sling my hammer around and I'd slam into something and I'd throw myself up. And I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm making traction. And then I would fling my hammer into the wall by accident and it would just shoot me off like a damn rocket. I would fly across the screen.
Was it built in Unity?
I have no idea. Michael, you know if it was built in Unity?
I have no idea. Imagine this, my fist here is Bennett Foddy.
Yes.
Here's his hammer.
Yes.
The only thing that touches anything is the tip.
Right.
So when you move around, like, it doesn't matter what the fuck sensitivity you put your mouse on, it doesn't help any in this fucking stupid ass game. So what happens is you're like moving your mouse like around trying to grab something and lift over or whatever. But sometimes whenever you move your mouse and you're like, okay, I'm gonna like sit here and do this and try to get him to like grab and pull himself up. It doesn't matter. Even if you like sit there and do that, sometimes instead of doing this, your hammer will do this.
What?
It'll push out this way. When you're like trying to do this, he'll like mess up, and then his hammer will go bam, and then push off, and then that's when he goes flying off back to the fucking beginning of the fucking level.
Oh,
and I've just given up on that piece of shit game.
Okay, well, that kind of explains everything there.
Yeah.
It makes life difficult.
It looks super awkward.
I mean, it can't, like, the hammer can't do this. It can't go straight across. Like,
right.
it'll go right here and then kind of like do that.
Yeah.
But like, it has like a huge radius, or if you pull your hammer in, it can have like a little tiny radius like that.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Because
anyway, yeah, that's something. You're like sitting here doing this, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna get it, and then your hammer does this number, and then you go whoop, and then you're like, fuck, I'm done. This piece of shit. Roar.
Oh, I got up to the point. Okay, so you start out, you get past the tree, then there's that little rock cropping, and you start going up that rock, going up the rock, go over the house, up near those two water
rock
barrels.
Cropping that I've seen a lot of times.
Yeah, me too. I got past the water barrels and then the rocks with some flowers on them, and then there's that little offset kind of area where you got to be super skillful to shoot yourself between the rocks.
Yep.
Okay, so I got up there, and then I fell back down again. But I got back up there. I got all the way up to, there's this one section. It's past the little metal bar or grating that goes up on a pretty steep incline, where there's two large rock crop openings, and then there's little lanterns inside this channel.
The bane of like all beginner players.
Yes.
Is that little tiny little crevice with two little lamps.
I don't know how to do that.
I'm not sure. I haven't tried it there, but like you said, the physics in that game are just working against itself sometimes. There's this one area that I'm at in the game that I keep falling back down to. And it's a really difficult area because it's got like a slant here, and then there's like a wall here, and you got to sit here and like jump from down here and climb up this slant. But I found out if you just sit here and like wiggle your fucking hammer like this above you, then he'll sit there and go boop 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 and then fly upward.
What?
Weird.
Yeah, like he'll sit there and he'll like his hammer will grab that and then it'll send him upward and then send it back. He'll grab the other thing and then send him more upward and he wiggles his way up, just
What?
wiggling his hammer up and like above himself. You could try that.
I may have to.
I don't know if it'll work, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna try it right now.
I literally got to that point in the crevice, and then I could not go any further, and I ended up throwing myself down the mountain again, back to the just after the tree portion again.
Actually, I can't. I have it uninstalled, and I can't be fucking install it.
Rage uninstall.
Yep.
So is there an end to the game, or is it just?
I think you get
It's a short game. It's actually really short. It's just
hard.
Took a
But
cue
yeah,
from-
you make it to the top of the mountain. I think that's it. And it's just like the voiceover comes over saying, "Hey, congrats.
Good job.
Do it again." Yeah.
It would be awesome if just a big hammer just came and punk knocked you off the mountain. Be like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you guys know that or Daniel, do you remember Snakes and Ladders? That board game?
Yeah.
You know how you get on a ladder, you go up.
Yeah.
If you touch a snake, you go
fall
down.
down. Yeah.
There's a spot where you make it into the game where it says, here's a snake over here if you want to check it out. And there's two directions. Like, you can either try going up this pathway upward, which looks difficult as fuck because it's got a barrel swinging back and forth, and every time you hit it, it like zigzags. You got to sit there and grab hold of it and get up on top of it. Or there's a snake. If you go to the snake, it sends you all the way back down.
Oh, jeez. We got a cool thing over here. You want to see it? Yeah, go to the bottom. Fuck.
Yep.
That's
I mean,
brutal.
I didn't go on it myself. I haven't reached it, but I've seen someone else play it, and I was like, they better not go to that snake because I remembered it immediately. Snakes and ladders.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a snake. There's gonna be something bad.
That sucks.
And they didn't go at first either. They actually went up and they got up pretty far, and then they had the issue where the hammer went whoop like this, and they pushed them, and they fell, and he started flipping out, like moving his mouse trying to grab hold of something, and his hammer happened to, like, here's the snake, and his hammer happened to go boop, and he goes, phew.
Oh, that's a rage quit.
He screams. He goes,
It is such a rage-inducing game. I managed to hold myself from screaming at bloody murder, but there were some instances where I just went, I'm done. I can't. No, and I stopped, and I'd stop for 10 minutes, and then I'd go back to the game. I'm like, I need to punish myself more.
It does look really well made, except for the horrible controls. I mean, it looks like a really good bad game.
the horrible controls are on purpose.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like a really good bad game.
Like I said, it doesn't matter how much you mess with your mouse sensitivity. No matter what you do, you move your mouse. Like, here's your pointer. Here's the hammer in the game. You're going to move your mouse, and the hammer does this.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
Yeah, it's 100%.
There's always a delay.
Yeah, the input lag that they built into it, it took me a while to actually kind of get used to that and start using it to my advantage.
Yeah.
And I can just swing the hammer around. I've got to a point now where I can just swing the hammer around and just like spin my mouse in a circle and then climb all the way back up to the water barrels with no issue. But if I catch a wrong spot in the wall or something and I send myself flying, I just have my guy just hold his hammer out and just like this and go. It just falls. Like, I'm done.
Can you use a controller? It seems like joystick would make it easier.
I don't know if it's controller compatible.
I don't know either.
I feel like, the slow movement of a joystick would make it more
I don't know.
controllable. You can control more with the
Wax
controller.
on, wax off. That's what you do.
Hammer on.
Hammer on, fall down clip.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you played Bennett Foddy, getting over it with Bennett Foddy.
Yeah, I played Minute Foddy, and then I went ahead and bought GTA 5 online.
Finally.
Or on a computer, and I've been playing some GTA 5.
Yeah.
So that's all I've really been playing.
I've played too much of it.
There's a lot of GTA 5 to be played.
Yeah.
But that's the bad thing is I'm sitting here going, I should be playing some new games. It's like I have an opportunity to play some new games, and I'm playing old games.
I'm the same way.
Outside of Bennett Foddy.
So the games I've been playing are just games that have been out. I haven't played anything new. Mostly, I did, okay, from the last podcast that we did, I've been playing more Tarkov, and they improved it.
Oh, yeah?
I saw your comment on that, and I was hoping you'd talk about that.
They fixed it. Since the time that I mentioned, they added more extraction points. They made the randomness a bit better. I mean, it can still happen, the spawn camping and stuff like that, but it's a lot rarer now. I was actually having fun playing the game. It was actually quite enjoyable. Even losing your stuff isn't terrible, because some of the stuff that, like, some of the most basic weaponry that you can buy in the game is really cheap,
Mm-hmm.
and in the trade shop or whatever. And even if you run completely out of items, you can do scav runs, and it's a 30-minute timer in between doing the NPC, like the scav runs or whatever, where you spawn with a random set of loot. It's not that bad of a wait, actually. Like, if you if you know how to multitask, if you have Tarkov up and you do a scav run and you die and you're like, well, shit, I don't have any items, just load up another game and play it for 30 minutes and then launch Tarkov back up. It's not bad. There's improvements that can still be made, but it's a lot better than when I was first playing it.
Awesome.
So I've been playing that. I've been playing GTA 5, as same as you.
Finally get you to reinstall it again. Now we need to get all three of us to get. We need a fourth. We need more people. I want to do all of the heists, because I still haven't done all but the first one.
I think I've done the first couple of heists on the Xbox, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I've done all the heists except for the new Doomsday one.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying that GTA. I played a little bit of League of Legends as well.
More League.
Is it still League?
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I the only time I ever played is with a small group of friends.
Yeah.
So we're always like in a team, and it's fun, and it's not salty or evil or toxic or anything like that, like
Right.
Overwatch is every single time I freaking play it.
Yeah. Speaking of, I've uninstalled Overwatch.
Really, you did?
Yeah, I'm done.
I didn't realize that you had said you were going to uninstall it,
Yeah.
but I didn't think you would really uninstall
I
it.
did. I have no love for that game anymore.
Why don't you? I thought you for sure you would want that Hanzo skin.
Oh no, fucking Hanzo! Did they fix it yet, or is they still working?
I haven't checked. I haven't logged on in a while. I just haven't cared for the game much
Yeah.
either. I loved it when it first came out, when it was in beta and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I loved the damn thing so much, but man, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse.
Wait.
I haven't played Overwatch this week,
Yeah.
so
Well, it's like that. It's not that I don't love Overwatch. Like, I love the game. I love the way it plays.
yeah,
I love all the
I
modes.
just hate the player base.
Yeah, the community sucks.
Terrible.
Like, there's
Like I
not-
said,
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's nice people, and you'll occasionally have like a couple good matches,
Of course,
and then
like any game.
yeah. Well, like, then you're playing along, and then all of a sudden one person leaves, and then the game's like, there's not enough people. Scatter. You're like, oh good, I get to go with shitty people again. You should have made a team.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple things about Overwatch. Like I was saying, that the player base is just
A
so
hot dumpster
toxic.
fire.
Like I've run into less toxic people on League of Legends, which is really weird.
Yeah, I think they all moved. They just
yeah,
came,
probably.
They came to Overwatch.
But you play Overwatch and you have bad game after bad game after bad game. You get a good game and you're like, oh hey, can we like team together with this group? And you're like, oh, let's all stay as a team. And you stay as a team, and then you get queued up against other 6 man teams, and then you get your ass kicked, and then you start fighting with your team that you did good with.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my god, just stop. That game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played League of Legends. I played Tarkov, GTA. I played a little bit of Fortnite. I'm not a big fan of it. It's not bad. It's a quick get in, play, die game.
Have you ever done the Battlegrounds or Battle Royale? Or have you done the
Yeah, I've done the
mode?
Battle Royale. That's all I've done is the Battle Royale mode.
Nobody
What
wants it for
else?
zombie mode anymore.
Like I want
Yeah.
to see it, but I'm like no one's playing it. They're just all doing the Battle Royale.
Yeah, the Battle Royale is the more popular of it,
Yeah.
because it's actually not that bad,
And it's free.
and it's free to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, but other than that, I think that's it. That's all I've been playing. I haven't been really interesting this week.
Well,
It is the holidays.
yeah, it's so busy. God, I of course have played Breath of the Wild only. Well, it's not true, but I did play more Breath of the Wild, and now that I've had my, oh, it's the best game ever. I'm now finding things I don't like about the game. So now that I think it's still Game of the Year, and I'm okay with that. But like, I'm behind everybody, so like I'm still new to it and loving it. But now I'm like, the controls are wonky sometimes. Like you get into a place and there's like you're like walking through anything, and he's like, I'm gonna climb this, and I'm like, get off of that. He's like, I'm gonna climb this side. I'm like, stop, just walk through. The story is super thin. I'd like there to be more story, because all the other ones, they were more like, here's the story, and it was more linear, but there was story to it. That's why I like playing Zelda, is for the story, and the story's good. It's just
I actually thought I didn't think it was thin at all when I played it, especially like the memories, the memory scenes. Like that's like the most characterization they've ever had in a Zelda.
Yeah, I mean, thin is probably the wrong word. It's just it's so spread out, and it's like you don't have that constant, inflow of story. It's like you'll go huge periods of time where you don't find a memory because
Sword Light Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah. But
I
get you.
Outdoing your thing.
Yeah, and like right now, I'm to the point where I can go fight Ganon, but I don't want to, because I know as soon as I do, I'm done with the game.
It's true.
So, and now all the shrines, like I can't climb on a tall thing and be like shrine, and then go do them. Now I'm just like, I don't know where any shrines are, and I don't have enough stamina or hearts. And but I mean, the game's still. Oh yeah, I always seem to not have enough weapons, even though I have like 13 slots. I'm like, I need a hammer. Why don't I have a hammer? I'm over there smashing rocks with a dagger.
I will have to say, that is one of the hardest things to come by in that game. It seems to be a hammer.
It's at your house. There's always one at your house.
Really?
Yeah.
I never realized that, for one thing.
Yeah.
Two, it's like I always end up like, I need a hammer. Well, here's a longsword.
No, not me, but like I always fucked myself over whenever I was playing the game. I was like, if I didn't have a hammer, I was like, I don't have a hammer. I don't feel like using the durability up on my longsword. Bomb! And then everything just goes flies everywhere. And I'm like, well, I gotta go find it now.
Goodbye, diamond.
Yeah. I'll chase after that fucking diamond.
I did that once, and I
If I
was
see
like,
a
well, that
diamond
was a
flying
mistake.
off, I'll be like, whee.
I threw a bomb at one. I was like, this will be easy, because it's just like trees. Nope. There's rocks everywhere. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, I mean, it's still fun, and it's fun to play, and like occasionally I'll find, like I'm doing shrine quests now just to find shrines, and it's just fun finding stuff, just little things, and the memories are nice. I have all but 5, I think, and I'm just using Polygon to find all of them, because I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, I don't know where the hell that is. It's like it's in a weird, obscure area you would never go normally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
Well, that's why you go to the horse stables and talk to that one guy, and he'll be like, oh, this memory is north of this swamp.
What's his name? Picapon?
Picapon?
I don't know what his name is. It's a P something.
Yeah, I forget his name too, but you originally met him in Kokiri Village.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm a painter, and I know all these places. And you talk to him, and he's like, oh, you go here, and then you go there.
Yeah. I see him. No, it's like, you want me to take a look at anything? I'm like, no. I already know. I will find it. A couple I did find on my own. I was like, that. Like, I look at it. I'm like, oh, Hyrule Castle is here, and that looks like Halea Bridge, and I'll go over there somewhere.
That's how I did most of them.
But like a couple of them I got like there's one I know in Hyrule Castle, which I know I'll need a guide for. Cause apparently it's going to be a pain in the ass. But other than that, I played Rocket League on the Switch.
Rocket League on the Switch.
Yeah. Which it plays like Rocket League. Plays really well. It doesn't look as good, but it's really nice to just be like anywhere you're not at a computer and be like, I'm gonna play Rocket League, and then you can play. And it's really nice. It plays really well. It's cross-platform play, which is cool.
Yeah.
The only bad like it'll give you the Mario and Luigi car, and then there's a Samus car. No one else can see them if you're playing crossplay. You show up as a breakout. Or I think it might be a random car, but everyone I've seen that was playing as a breakout.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah. Because I was like, that'd be so cool. Everyone's gonna know I have the Switch because I'm using the Luigi car. And then I played with some people. We partied up, and they were two of them were using the Switch, and their cars were just the breakout. I was like, that's lame.
Well, you think they may have done that because they're concerned because the Luigi and Mario Kart probably are lower poly versions?
No, I think they did it because Nintendo was like, don't put our shit on other consoles.
Yeah, don't have our Mario and Luigi shit showing up on PlayStation or Xbox.
Yeah, they're like Disney. They're like, don't mess with our IPs. Well, it's on the Switch and only the Switch. But I mean, it plays really well.
That's good.
Yeah. And the cars are kind of similar to the breakout, so the hitboxes are probably the same. But yeah, that plays really well and it's fun. And I thought I played something else, but I don't know. I mean, I played GTA. 16 hours, 15 hours, all day. I wasted a whole day. It was a terrible day.
Yep.
Should have done something else with my life. But that's all I played.
All right. Well, then I guess we will move on to the news segment.
Insert.
I got nothing. No, I think I have one thing, but it's like everybody knows.
All right. Now. Go ahead. Bring it on.
PUBG is released.
Oh, yeah.
Officially.
Yeah. It is
PUBG officially released 1.0.
Official 1.0. And I still...
And guess what?
Huh.
It sucks.
It's still PUBG, huh?
It's still PUBG. It's like basically it's just like, hey, guess what? We were PUBG in early access. Now we're PUBG released. Ta-da!
I haven't played it on test server. I thought it was okay on test server. I haven't played it live yet.
I have still yet to go back to PUBG since that one time I played it. Now, see, the problem is my opinion is colored heavily because at the time when I played it, the one time, my motherboard was throttling my processor way beyond belief. So everything was terrible. So I was like, this is a horrible game. How are y'all playing this? So I have not at all launched PUBG since that point. I really probably ought to give it one more shot.
I think you should. It's fun sometimes.
And
it's not fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's more fun if you're in a squad and just playing for the sake of having fun.
Yeah.
Just goofing around. Obviously, it feels good to get kills and win and stuff like that, but like the more fun is just having fun.
Yeah.
You know, just goofing off. So maybe that's something that we should try.
We definitely should.
3-man squad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I will give PUBG another shot.
Yay.
One more try.
One more try. We'll see how bad this is going to be. Because I remember the last time when I was playing, I was like, how do you pick up stuff? And I'm just sitting there poking at my keyboard. And y'all are sitting there going, oh, yeah, let's go. I'm like, what?
Dan was over here like, I got a hat.
Hey, I got
Tango
a
West.
backpack. Look at me.
Athos, Tango, West.
Huh?
I'll throw my hat at him.
He's right there, 26 degrees east. You're just like, I don't know what direction that is.
What is east? It was. Oh man, it's so bad. I felt old playing that game. It's like at that point, I was like, where's my Nintendo? I just want to play my NES with my 8-bit games. It's like all this newfangled stuff is killing me. And I'm sitting there suddenly going, I'm getting old. Like I can't keep up with the kids these days.
What you do is you just pretend. You just keep looking around until you figure out where they're at. Like look at where everyone's shooting. They're like, this way? Oh, there he is. Awesome.
Aha! Let me crawl on the ground. Dead.
Or if you're the last guy in the squad and you're just like, no, everybody can see me fucking up.
Yeah. That will be me. If somehow miraculously I stay to the last.
Got stuck in the bathroom upstairs. Like, I can't get this door open.
No! Leave me alone. That'll be me.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be
All
a good time.
We'll do some PUBG then. I'll figure it out. I'll try not to suck so bad to drag you down.
Good deal.
So PUBG released, and that's all I got.
PUBG released. All right. The only thing that I've kind of noticed, and this was a little bit last week, but Destiny once again made news. Good old Bungie. I mean, it was 3 weeks in a row that they were just issue after issue after issue. This one was their 3 of coins that came back into. They had previously in Destiny 1. They brought it back into Destiny 2. The 3 of coins are a paid modifier for exotic drop rates.
That's what you're paying real money for.
Yeah. And they weren't working.
Oh, no.
At all.
I mean, how could you mess up? Your drop rates is you simply increase the number.
Yeah.
How did they mess it up?
They, well, for one thing, they weren't just working at all with like heroic strikes or anything of that nature. Just like not amplifying the drop rates at all.
Oh, good.
But one of the things that pissed a lot of the community members off was they didn't specify what the enhancement to the drop rate was.
Right.
And after people started complaining to Bungie, Bungie's like, oh, well, we'll look into it. By the way, this is what the enhancement was. It was a 50% increase to the drop rate of the percentage. Now, it sounded good for a second there. But if your drop rate percentage was 1% on exotics and you have a 50% increase, your drop rate is 1.5%.
Hot dog.
And it lasted for a 4-hour increment.
What?
Yeah. And that was it. You gain 0.5% for 4 hours for an exotic.
Oof.
Yeah. It's
Oof.
brutal.
That sucks. Now, it's consumable, like one-time use?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. It's just like, why? Why are you doing this, Bungie? Yeah. Why are you killing yourself so slowly?
Man. It's like, I don't even think they realize they're doing a shitty thing. It's like, you do stuff and you're just like, this is fine. That's nice. It's an increase. It's good for everybody. And then everybody's like, no, that's bad. And we're paying money for it.
You didn't die.
Give it a second. Oh, man. Allergies are through the roof today.
It's dogs. And it's weather. It's like slimy outside. It's done nothing but rain.
Oh, yeah. Actually, give me a minute.
Okay. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back, guys. And we're back.
We'll get back.
Yay. We're all back again, and we're all not dead from sneezing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was really it for Bungie that I was talking about. They're just continuously pissing off their people and their fan base. So, good job, Bungie.
Maybe they're doing it intentionally. They're like, we're tired of this game.
We're tired
of this series. Destiny. We're tired of working for Activision. Just get rid of it.
Let's just kill the game off.
Let's close the studio.
They're doing a good job right now.
They are.
So, that's all I have for news-wise. TJ, what do you got?
I got a couple things. Risk of Rain 2. I don't know if any of you played Risk of Rain.
Risk of Rain, never heard of it.
I played the original Risk of Rain. It wasn't that great.
Yeah, it came out, when it came out, the market was being flooded with, tons of Terraria clones.
Yeah.
And it's a lot like that, except not crafting. It's more of a Metroidvania type of game, just killing stuff. I didn't get into it, but Risk of Rain 2 is going to be 3D instead of 2D. So that's a big change for them. It looks okay. I mean, I'm
supposed to be a 3D, not that great game. Awesome.
Yeah. But I thought that was a little weird for. The game didn't start out in 3D. They started out in 2D, and then they started making 2.5D, with 3D assets. And it's like, why don't we just make it 3D? Mm-hmm. So now they're doing that. And oh hell, Catherine That game that came out like a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that game.
That's getting a remaster.
Yeah.
Which apparently there's a huge competitive scene for it.
Who knew?
Yeah, like I didn't know it had multiplayer. I've never played it. It looked interesting. Like every time I see it, I'm like, that looks really cool. I should play that, and then I never do because I do that every game.
I've played it and I've seen the full game. It's pretty cool. It's actually not a bad like story and stuff in it. It feels like one of the animes I would watch when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a big, like you said, a big competitive community and speedrunning community for it.
See, I've seen the speed running on all that, and the speed runs are just incredible at how fast they're going in that game.
Yeah.
But I did not know there was a competitive.
Yeah, that's super crazy.
That's weird.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
I thought that was cool. That's getting a remaster. I like all these old games that I didn't play then that are getting remastered, so I can not play them now. I just want to buy them, put them on Steam, and just let them sit there.
And you forget about them.
It's not forget about them. It's like it's uninstalled. It's like I don't have time to reinstall you.
Funny with all the remasters and HD versions and stuff like that. Before the PS4 like came out, I started investing in all these freaking like HD remastered collections on the PS3. So I have all these HD collections on PS3. And now it's like, now the PS4 is out and I want them for that. It's like, Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And Jack and Daxter 1, 2, and 3 HD and Ratchet and Clank and Ico and Shadow of the Colossus and the Sly Cooper collection. Like I've gotten like a ton of collections, all HD like versions. But now the PS4 is better and the PS3 is...
Like, I need you to remaster all these series again for me.
It's like, come on, let's go.
I hate video games.
Another thing I had, but it's not really news. It's more of a story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for a while, I was playing a lot of Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
And I still play it every once in a while. But there's a community called the Fuel Rats. And what they do is, like, occasionally, like, even when you first played, you ran out of fuel almost.
Yeah.
And you almost got stranded.
Yeah.
So what the Fuel Rats do is, like, you'll get on their Discord or on their forums and be like, hey, I ran out of fuel. This is where I'm at. And someone will be like, okay, this is how long it'll take me to get there. I'll come get you, deliver fuel, and send you on your way. So they're just this big network of people that do that. In Elite Dangerous, there are people that go outside the bubble, which is the observable where you can, travel to. So they'll get to the edge, and then they'll set their super cruise and just head out into the black.
Yeah.
And the farthest someone has gone out is like 26,000 light years just in super cruise, and that's far. I think it might actually be farther than that. I might be remembering wrong. Oh, 65,659 light years from Seoul.
Good.
That's way out there.
Why?
Just because Elite Dangerous there's not a ton to do, so you're just like occasionally get people like, I want to go see what's out there. There's nothing out there.
It's the end of the game, guys.
That's pretty much in-game content for a lot of people. Like there's this joke that
in-game content
is to leave the universe.
Like, well, I've done everything in this game. Now I'm going to go kill myself off into the distance.
Well, like the goal is to go as far as you can out. You do the math, how much fuel you're going to consume. You get out there, and then you turn around and make it back. You set the record for going out the farthest.
Okay.
So, what was her name? Dude, somewhere in here. Commander Persera took off. Got past the last guy that went out there, coming back. Didn't have enough fuel. So just shut down. Can't go anywhere. And, just running your ship uses fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Just post it on there. So now, like, a whole bunch of people were scrambling together, and it's going to take, like, a bunch of ships just to get out there. They have to, like...
chain it?
Yeah, chain it off each other to get out there, and then get her back and get everyone else back. It's just, it's cool. I think it's like a 2-day trip just to get out there. 2 real-time days.
What?
Yes.
No.
Just to get out there.
I would say, yeah, bye.
Well, I mean, that's the whole community. I mean, that's what they do. That's,
Yeah, but if you didn't manage your fuel properly.
Well, I mean, that's what the Fuel Rats do. They save people who biffed, you jump out to a star and you're like, oh shit, I can't fuel off this star. now I'm stuck out here.
Yeah, that's one thing you're playing within the game.
But yeah,
they're going out into the endless, vast wasteland.
But that's to these people. That's still in the game. That's a goal. And the fuel rats are there. The fuel rats save people. They don't care what you did. They're there for you. And I love them. One of these days, I'll be a fuel rat.
That's actually kind of cool. But like Elite Dangerous, what you're saying kind of reminds me of like some of the stories I've heard of other like PC games that like were really in depth. I'll get into that later, but I'll let you finish your news first.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they got. Let me see if they got to her, because I read this. Well, they haven't updated it, but there's a thread probably on Reddit or on Frontiers forums. Just it's 7, 8, 10 pages long. Just communicating with each other. And the thing is, she has to keep logging out. Like, she can only log in every once a couple hours so that they can ping her location again and keep. Because I mean, it's basically 26,000 light years. You're just pointing in this direction. And if you've played Elite Dangerous, it's almost impossible to fly in a straight line because your mouse will move a little bit, or your joystick has a weird dead center, and it's just like you slowly creep this way. So she'll log in every 4 hours, and then they could ping her and then realign and then keep going.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's actually interesting. I didn't realize that Frontier made Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
Frontier made Planet Coaster, like one of my favorite.
Two crazy, wildly different games.
Wildly different, but both amazing.
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah. It's just like community-wise, Elite Dangerous is my favorite because they've got really great communities. You know, there's the fuel rats. There's also people who, like, you can hire or just have them escort you. Like, if you're just, I don't know what you would need an escort. I mean, I know you need an escort because there's pirates, and I've been blown up several times. But it's really cool. Just like the communities that have built up inside of Elite Dangerous, it's really neat.
It's so nuts.
Yeah, it's like EVE Online. Like, I like watching from a distance. I'm like, that's crazy. This is cool. Like, EVE Online, I look for a high drama, and Elite Dangerous is feel good stories about rescuing people. But that's all I've got.
That's what I was saying. That Elite Dangerous just reminded me of like some of those. There's what was that one game? I don't even remember what the game was called. There was some game that came out where you could actually invest real life, like real money, into land in the gaming world, and then like you would like charge people to come to your land and mine for like materials and stuff like that. And one guy actually made an investment, like sold his house or something like that, and made an investment to buy this land in this game.
Oh.
And it paid off, and now he's like super, super rich. Because people to this day apparently still go to his island to mine for like materials and stuff like that, and they have to pay out of their pockets to mine on his land or something like that. And I was like, what the hell kind of game?
That's cool.
Like, I forget what it was called. Like, hold on, let me see if I can look it up while you guys talk about something else.
I mean, that's nuts.
That seems super interesting, though.
Whoa.
That's the future, man. Like, with shit, what is that? Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Coming out of in theaters
soon.
Not a sponsor. Actually, it should be out now.
Yeah.
It's such a good book. Like, I read the book. I haven't seen the movie yet, but it's so good. And it's just it's a crazy idea that, not too long in the future, the whole country is crumbling under economic collapse, and everyone is poor and living in weird trailer stacks, and everyone can afford awesome headsets that are super expensive now, but apparently are just commonplace. And then you just live inside a virtual reality. You go, like, people are
on the VR.
Yeah, and they got awesome gloves, which I want gloves. I'm tired of clumsy controllers. I need to pick stuff up. Suggestive.
Well, if you're going there, I
won't. But yeah, it's cool to see that, like, people, there's like a precedence for stuff like that.
Here's what it was called.
Okay.
It was called Entropia Universe.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Online sci-fi MMORPG.
Neat.
Multi-world, real cash economy experience.
Wow.
Whoa.
And apparently there's a story of a guy who invested in this land, worked with a bunch of people to build this giant club called Club Never Die. I know it sounds ridiculous, but he ended up selling the property for $635,000.
Holy
Wow.
shit! What?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's a virtual asteroid in the online game Entropia.
That's so cool.
Let's see. When you make 100 PED, the Entropia currency, you can trade it out for 10 USD at any time.
Wow.
So 100 PED is worth $10.
That's actually a pretty good exchange rate.
So yeah, but how hard is it to earn
Right.
PED?
Yeah.
So using Club Never Die as a resort destination for thousands of Entropia players, John Jacobs was able to make $200,000 a year in revenue.
Holy shit.
Oh.
This dude's living the dream, man.
Oh.
That's
wow.
That's so cool. Because, you know, in Ready Player One, the guy, you own asteroids. You can just buy an asteroid and it's your base. Just do cool things.
Could you imagine?
Making $200,000 off a game?
Here we
Really?
go. So here we go. John Jacobs originally paid $100,000 for the property.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean,
And he built it up into Club Never Die. And he did so by mortgaging his real-world home.
Ooh.
Man.
Within a few years, Jacobs has paid off that debt and was making enough from Entropia to live comfortably.
Man.
Others have paid tens or hundreds of thousands for Entropia Universe property, which with each sale seemingly exceeding the last in size and ambition. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's so crazy.
Wow. I can't fathom that. I really can't.
Like, it's so popular. They even have like a promo for the Club Never Die on YouTube. It's like this little promo that shows videos of all these people partying and stuff, like in this virtual world, sort of like Second Life, you know.
Yeah.
But apparently, like a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Jesus. Really? I mean, I really am floored. I'm just like, dude made a lot of money. Is that game shut down? I wonder?
No, it's still going. I just linked it in our Discord. So
oh, dude,
if
I
you
gotta check that
check that out,
out.
just look at it, and it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, not if you're making hundreds of thousands. Oh man, like
No
what is the
lie.
company? What is the company making like that owns this? Because I'm sure they're getting like some kind of fee out of this.
A little bit of kickback
Yeah.
from everybody else.
Or
Like,
we
we'll
just
take skim the top.
little 2% for us. Everybody else.
Who
It's like-
knows?
yeah.
Dude, holy. Whoa.
Apparently, it is a free-to-play game.
What?
No monthly subscription. No monthly subscription. Minimum wait to play. Easy account setup. Yeah, it's free to play. It's just you got to pay money in game for the land or to use like assets that other people own or something.
That's insane. If you told me that I could spend $100,000 in a game,
Mhm.
first I would say you're insane, and second, but you tell me that legitimately you're going to get a 6 times return on your investment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap! This dude just banked.
Yeah.
It makes you
Yes.
Right.
I'm floored. I really am. It's just I don't know what to say about it. Just like
yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Entropia Universe is an advanced 3D online virtual environment with developed planetary system and one universal real cash economy system. That's so crazy.
How have we never heard about this? I
don't
mean, you heard about it, but like TJ and myself, I've never heard of it. It
Yeah.
never even crossed any of the news outlets that I've ever read all this time.
You know how obviously we're not like super rich people.
Right.
So I've heard of it and I saw it and I was like, oh, it's an online MMO like all the other online MMOs I've ever played.
Yeah.
You know, City of Heroes, Rose Online, Ragnarok Online, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars, all those games. It's like there's so many. You see Entropia Universe and you're like, oh, it's just another MMO, you know? But then you look deeper into it and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I would have certainly thought that at some point I would have read an article about it, though, telling about its real cash economy thing, because that's a little outside the norm on.
Does it look good
Thing.
though? I mean, what kind of?
Yeah.
How does it look?
Oh, it looks dated now.
Oh, there's no way I can
It's
spend it.
It's
it
Second
looks it looks Second Life actually looks better than
Oh shit!
hold on. It I'm trying to think of something to compare it to.
Let's see if I can Entropia.
It looks like the first Star Wars MMO,
Ooh,
I guess. Hold on here. I'll link you here, TJ.
I'm pulling
Yeah.
up some images. Images.
There you go.
I'm pulling up images right now.
some images?
Images.
Yeah. So that's the game.
Is that a butt?
what? She's got a butt. Look at that
I was
butt.
gonna say that's a butt. What in the heck did I Google search for Entropia Universe and I see a giant butt first thing.
The
It's like,
sexy busty
Thanks.
lady doing
Whoops.
battle with a tree stump.
Thanks, Google.
Google.
Okay, so yeah, wow.
Wow.
So it doesn't look terrible, but yeah, it looks dated.
Yeah.
It's dated now. But yeah, apparently this is the game. I don't know exactly everything that you can do. I don't know if you like mine or fight or level up or anything like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but apparently you can invest money into land or planets and
So what we need to do is we need to mortgage your house.
yeah, there you go.
we're gonna buy a planet.
Yeah, right. We're gonna play a virtual planet,
Woohoo.
a virtual in-game planet that may not even do anything good because the game's so freaking old now.
Yeah. Let me just spin that by the wife right quick. Let's see how fast I get slapped in the face for saying that.
Yeah.
Woof. Wow. That's insane, though.
Yeah.
That's
Great.
video games. Just really. Wow.
Yeah. But that's what it was. That was just an off topic. It reminded me of, that when you were talking about how in depth Elite Dangerous is with the community and stuff
Yeah.
like that. People forming together to make this clan
Mm-hmm.
to go out and rescue people or
Yeah.
help people. And then, in Entropia, it's like this guy working with people to build up this giant planet of this club that people go to spend their money. And now he's a freaking millionaire, it seems like.
That's crazy.
That is
Almost a
insane.
millionaire.
But still, it's a ton of money.
It's like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I run a virtual club
Yeah.
on an
Yeah.
asteroid. That's awesome.
Apparently.
That's crazy.
Like, don't give me weird looks. I just bought a Mercedes.
It's my M class. Man. Well, all right. Well, I guess that's going to do it for the news this week.
Yep.
So now we're going to move on to one of my favorite segments. Email.
And the best thing about email is now we don't say there's no email.
Because this week we do have 2 emails.
Yes.
By the way, if you want to have your voice heard on the VGBits, BG,
The Bee Gees.
you were the BGs.
If you want to have your voice the herd.
The herd
That's what
with
it
the
sounds
Bee Gees. I'm sorry. I'm sad.
We are staying alive.
Now, if you want to have your voice heard on the VGBit BitCast, you can send your emails to bitcast@vgbits.com, BITCAST @vgbits.com. We're going to read them, just like we're going to do right now. So, first email comes in with the subject line, email, from Icarus, who flew too high.
Yeah.
He says, what is one game that you really like that is generally disliked or hated?
That's a hard one for me.
It was incredibly hard.
I think I know one.
Okay, we'll let you start it off then.
All right, I'll start. Now you're gonna, I don't know, some people may go, oh, this isn't disliked, or people don't hate that game or whatever. But from my experience, personal experience, anytime I mention that this is like one of my favorite games, people are like, oh, that was an awful game in the series. I hated that one. Final Fantasy VIII.
Yes. Actually,
People
yeah.
are
Yeah.
generally dislike it, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's one that I really like, but a lot of people were like, "Oh, I hated the junction system," or "I was too lazy to learn it," or or something like that. You know, I didn't like, you know, how emo their character was. I didn't. I played 10 minutes of it and decided from those 10 minutes that I didn't want to play it or something like that. You know?
That always cracked me up. Like, Squall's too emo. Final Fantasy VII was the best. I was like, that dude was literally the definition of emo. Cloud was terrible.
I have to say I wasn't one that just like hated the game, but it wasn't my favorite game. Yeah. So I understand exactly where you're coming from, Michael, because I was like,
yeah. Like I played it and I enjoyed the heck out of it, and I remember like a couple years after it had come out and I'd already played it and beaten it, and like maybe talking to some people about it, like in a game store, they're like, "Oh, Final Fantasy, oh God," and I'm like, I thought everybody liked that game. It's Final Fantasy. Who doesn't like Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I love Final Fantasy VIII. I thought it was fantastic, and the system, like the battle system, that was vastly different from other games. I mean, I can understand some people like why people don't want to get into it because it's different. It was very different. Like Final Fantasy VIII, it was so different. You could play through the game without leveling up because all the monsters in the game are close to your level, no matter what you are.
Yeah.
You don't get any experience from like boss battles. You only get experience and level up from like just random battles. So if the way you do more damage is you earn like AP for your summons that you have equipped.
Yeah.
So you could sit there and never level up, but get your summons like super powerful, and you could start kicking butt without ever like gaining hardly any experience points. And that's what made the game interesting to play, because, you know, and not. I think another thing that a lot of people didn't like was the magic system of Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
Instead of having MP and using it, using your this spell over and over and over, and it taking the MP away. Spells were like items.
Yeah.
You gathered 5 of cure, and
Yeah.
you used one, and now you have 4 cures left. And people didn't like that, but whatever. You know, I liked the game, and from my experience, a lot of people disliked it. So that's my answer. Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
That was like one of the first things that me and Michael had in common was like Final Fantasy VIII. We're both like, yeah, that's the best.
Okay, hold on one second then. Best summon in Final Fantasy VIII?
Doom Train.
Oh, you like Doom Train?
I love Doom. Okay, here's the thing. Doom Train is a terrible summon as a summon, but he is the coolest summon ever made. Like second to Alexander in Final Fantasy IX. Doom Train was just awesome. Like the first time you summon him, it's like it fades to black, and you hear ding, ding, ding. The crossbows come down. You're like, oh, it really is a train, and it's awesome.
I can understand that. My favorite summon in Final Fantasy VIII. Oh my God, you would ask me that question.
Oh, of course.
There's so many good ones though.
I'll tell you what.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I personally liked Doom Train as well. And mainly it was because when I was watching, Michael, I was watching you play Final Fantasy VIII for the first time.
Yeah.
And you got the magic lamp. And you're like, oh, what's the magic lamp?
Oh, yeah, and you had to fight Doom Train, yeah.
And you go,
no, it wasn't Doom Train that you fought from the magic lamp.
What? It wasn't Doom Train?
It was Diablos. It was Diablos.
Is Diablos? I thought it was Gilgamesh.
I thought it was Doom Train. Okay.
Diablos was the big, like...
I forgot about him.
My bad. Shame on me.
I forgot all about Diablos.
I wouldn't know that because Final Fantasy... Shut up. I would know that, but yeah. Magic lamp, I remember, like, if you looked at the magic lamp, it says save before using it. And you're like,
yeah.
Huh?
I remember... I remember all of that, and I remember you going and using the magic lamp, and then all of a sudden, I swear, I thought it was Doom Train, so I guess... I mean, I really still like Doom Train, but I thought it was Doom Train that you ended up fighting there, so okay.
Nope. In that one, it was Diablos. In that one, he's the guy who uses the gravity magic.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Pulls down this giant, like, black orb and, like, throws it down on the enemies, and it takes, like, a portion of their HP or something. It doesn't actually kill them. It can never kill them.
Yeah.
It just takes a portion of their HP.
I think it's like 50%. I want to say it's 50%.
It depends on the monster, depending on how much, like...
Oh, really?
Resistance they have against gravity.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
So, yeah.
Who has
gravity resistance? Something else about that game that I loved is being able to junction Like,
Yeah.
if you had 100 sleep spells, you
Yeah.
could junction it to your weapon. So anytime you attach something, they would fall asleep.
It
It was awesome.
was super awesome.
But favorite GF, favorite girlfriend, favorite Guardian Force in Final Fantasy VIII. Oh God,
They're like Power Rangers. Guardian Force, go!
go!
I broke him.
Yeah, you did.
He wasn't ready for that.
It's so tough. Like, there's so many good ones because there's some that are like super serious, and some that I like. The one that I used the most was Shiva. I used Shiva a ton.
Yeah.
But one that I absolutely loved because it was silly it was called The Brothers, and it was a Minotaur and his little brother.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, the little brother was the big one, but they were silly because like this like the animation showed this big guy stand up and he's like, "Arr!" and then he stops and he looks down like, huh? And it shows the little tiny one look up, and he picks the big brother up and tosses him way up in the air, and the big one falls down on the enemies and it does damage to him. And I was like, oh my god, this is so silly, but I love it. Then there's like some weird ones like Pandora or Eden, which I was like, who the hell are these characters?
Yeah.
Of course, there's Bahamut, you know.
Yeah. Super awesome. He had such a cool intro too.
Yeah, Bahamut was awesome. He was hard to get too in the game. But as far as favorites go, damn.
We ask all the hard questions.
You do the hard question.
My suggestion is probably as like a favorite, useful summon would be Odin. He would just come in occasionally and just be like murder.
Oh yeah, you didn't have control of him.
Yeah, he just showed up whenever. He's just like
showed up whenever he wanted to.
Super cool. And he has 6-legged horse.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Let's see.
It's like, fuck, what
There
the
was
hell?
Quetzalcoatl, Shiva, Ifrit, Siren, Brothers, Diablos, Carbuncle,
Carbuncle was
Leviathan.
cool.
Pandemona, not Pandora. It was Pandemona.
What was that one?
Pandemona?
Yeah.
It was the one that was like this big guy, and he like sucks the enemies up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like this bag fills up on his back.
I remember, yeah.
There's Cerberus, there's Alexander, Doom Train, of course. Bahamut, Jumbo Cactuar,
Oh,
and
that one was
Tonberry King.
awesome. Tonberry King was dope.
Oh, dude,
I remember that.
Tonberry.
Yeah.
Eden, Odin, Phoenix, Boko the Chocobo, Minimog, Moomba, Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh overtook Odin eventually.
Yeah.
But shoot, I guess you know what? I'm gonna go with you guys. I'm gonna say Doom Train because that was I remember my first experience summoning Doom Train too because it was like really cool summoning him at first. You're like Doom Train, what is that? And you use it, and then suddenly, like you said, ding 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 ding. You're just like, what the fuck? It's an actual train. So yeah, Doom Train. I'll go with Doom Train.
Choo choo, motherfucker. Coming through.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so great.
It was.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't remember everything clear about Doom Train, but I do remember that Doom Train was super exciting. So
That'd be Courtney.
that would be. We're going to take a quick break right quick. And we're back again.
Yay.
Yay, animals.
Yay.
All right. So,
Final Fantasy
Doom
VIII
Train.
is my answer.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VIII, which understandable 100% because I was almost on the brink and edge of being one of those people. I'll go next on this one.
Okay.
So mine is, I know everybody's gonna be like, it was No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You like that game, but everybody
It was universally hated. I enjoyed it. I mean, okay, I will say this. I think it wasn't a $60 game. There's no way I should have paid $60 for that game.
Yeah.
I did pay $60
Agreed.
for that game. However, what was there, I did enjoy playing. I did like running around and mining the stuff because I had a goal at that point. It was like, I'm just going to mine the shit out of this gold and I'm going to buy a big ass ship. That was my entire goal when I was playing it. And also collecting all the little language
Oh yeah.
translations for the Geks.
Yeah.
Gek. That was kind of one of my goals because I liked running to the finding little temples or little structures that were there, and getting a word, and then ended up running to one of the aliens that were in his little outpost, and him going, blah blah blah, hey blah blah blah, what blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, so if I keep finding stuff, then I'll get to know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Then you see he's like, hey, I like, iridium or whatever, feed it to me. And then you'd have that option, feed him of all 3 different things. If you feed him the wrong one, it pisses him off. He's like, why'd you give me this? I'm like, I don't even know what you're saying, dude. Why are you mad?
You held her hand out, I handed you cobalt.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're coming from with there. No Man's Sky, it wasn't one of my favorites for damn sure. It was it had the same hype and then fail as Spore did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But like you said, what was there was enjoyable for the little amount of time that I played it. But I have a game that I can compare that to that it reminds me a lot of, and I'd just rather play the older game. And it reminds me of Freelancer.
Oh, Freelancer was so
and I would
good.
rather just play Freelancer.
Yeah.
Because that
Oh
was
my
that was a
God.
good game. But yeah, I could see where you're coming from with No Man's Sky.
I really wish there would be another Freelancer.
I know, right?
That game was so good.
Well,
There's a lot of like user mods and stuff for it too.
And the story was good. Everything. Have you ever played Freelancer, TJ? Oh my God.
I know you guys talk about it all the time.
Man, that game was just the shit.
Yeah.
At the
was
time, it was like the single player story mission space game where you had hyperdrive, there were dog battles in space. I mean, it was just so good.
Yeah, you could be like a smuggler. You could be like a like part of the army to fight like pirates and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or you could be like just a transport like salesman. You could buy the giant rig spaceship and be a space trucker.
So kind of like a Dangerous.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, there was more story.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
there's story.
Freelancer.
There's story in Elite Dangerous, but no one knows where it's at.
It was good. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Being able to like look at the different ships and upgrade them, and like you kill pirates and you use your tractor beam to pull in like the cargo and
Yeah.
stuff that you destroyed off of them, and you're like, oh hey, I found a gun. I'll put this over this old gun, and you can upgrade your ships to have different turrets and stuff. It was super good.
That's cool.
It was
So
It was so much fun bouncing around through the hyper rings. And like Michael said with the pirates, you'd be like, bounce, bounce, hyperdrive interrupted. I was like, no!
yeah,
It's time
that
to
would happen.
fight!
Yeah, that's right. Like pirates would come up and it'd be like hyperdrive interrupted, and you'd pull out of the hyperspace lane, and you're like shit, and you start flying around, having to shoot them down, and so you could
Fight him
continue.
down. Then you sit there and go, let me approach. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, man. Of course, there was one kind of weird thing about it, but it was, I mean, you could sit there and take your ship, and then you'd have the planet and go,
Oh yeah, to enter the planet, you actually like here's the planet. To actually go to the surface, there was like a small little like hyperspace, like not hyperspace, but like a little docking module, and you had to fly over to it, and it would go, all right, docking now, and your ship would fly in, and then it would fade to black, and then it would show you on the planet or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool way
But
to.
if you flew to the planet itself, you would just be like, yeah.
Those things look a lot bigger from farther out.
That's all that would happen.
That's
But if
funny.
you tried to fly, if you found like a star and you tried to fly to the star, the closer you get, your ship would be like, wah, wah, wah,
Yeah.
and that would be it.
That,
You're too close.
I think Elite Dangerous took a lot from that game.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because there's a lot like the hyperspace interdiction. They have that in Elite Dangerous. You're just sitting there and hauling ass. It's like cool, interdicted, and it pulls you out, and then you can can still escape. Like it gives you a small window to jump back into. I forget what the hyperspace is in Elite Dangerous, but if you can escape vector, follow your escape vector, poop, pop back into it. But if not, then you have to fight or die. In my case, I'm driving a big boat. It has no shields. I'm just like I'm hauling people. Stop shooting! You're gonna kill everybody.
That's awesome.
But
I bet it did take a lot from Freelancer.
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously in Elite Dangerous you can actually land on planets, But that's super cool. It's cool seeing like new games using stuff from old games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I liked about No Man's Sky is being able to fly into the atmosphere and
Yeah.
come down to the planet and like see like a station and you go
Yeah.
Yeah.
land and you can go in and explore. I love that, but everything else.
I haven't even tried all the new stuff that they've added.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing in any space game is let me land on a planet. I want to come in the atmosphere. I just want to cruise in. And that's the thing I keep talking about Elite Dangerous because it's the only space game I play. But like, you coming in, I think you were watching me stream once and I was coming into the atmosphere and your ship just it shuts the engines off and you just kind of glide through the atmosphere. So all you hear is your ship just like adjusting to the pressure and you can hear the metal creaking and it's super cool. I just love the sound design of that game too.
Yeah.
Otherwise it'd be a super boring game. I mean, it's real boring now, but without sound, it would just be terrible.
So, No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. I had to say it.
Yeah.
All right, TJ.
Lucid.
What do you got?
My hated game. I'm gonna take a page from Michael. Final Fantasy X-2. I love X-2. It was so much fun.
I'm with you there, TJ. I don't love it, but I don't think it's as bad as everybody says.
Right?
It is.
Yeah. I mean,
I had fun with it with what I played.
Me and Dan are considering yell at each other about how great the dress sphere system is.
Yeah.
I will say that is literally the only thing that I hate about Final Fantasy X-2 is purely the dress sphere system. That's it.
It really wasn't that bad. Like
I understand. For me, that is it. That is
it's
what
not just for
drives
you.
me
Like
insane.
a lot of people hated that system, but I liked it. I mean, the story was very girl power. All that, and there was a pop music scene in there. And it was
in the very intro. The intro was
actually okay. There were two. There was the one in the intro, and then there's one. I think the Thunder Plains. When you're out in the Thunder Plains, she like has a concert.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, in the very intro, Yuna's sitting there being like, yeah, and then you're like, is this what is this Final Fantasy X? Like, what is this?
It turns out to be an imposter, and then you fight her, and she runs away, and then you have another concert later. And it's great.
Oh,
it was so much fun. I really enjoyed the game. Just the story was fun. I don't know. It was just
Final Fantasy X too. That's a good answer.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure I've played another game that I like that everyone didn't, but that's like when you said Final Fantasy VIII, I was like, yeah, that's right. And then I was like, oh, 10 too. I wouldn't like that one.
yeah.
But
that's funny.
Yeah, that's actually one of the few. Like Final Fantasy VIII, I beat. Final Fantasy IX, I beat. 10, I beat, and 10 too. Those are the only Final Fantasy games I ever finished. And 10-2, probably, I'd put it in the top 3.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
I guess those are our answers.
There you go. So that is the first question right there. So thank you to Icarus for sending that in. Really appreciate that.
Thanks, Mike.
The second email that we have this week, it comes from Carbine.
Steven.
Question for the cast is the subject line. It says, hey guys, Carbine here. Got a question for the podcast. If you could work for any game developer, who would it be and what would your position be? Have a Merry Christmas and keep up the good work on the podcast. Thank you very much. We will continue to do that.
That's a tough question because I don't have any kind of skills that I can apply to game development.
I have to go with the obvious answer here. Like I have two game companies that I really enjoy that I would go for. It would be either Square Enix or Atlas.
Oh yeah.
And I would be concept artist. Is what I'd like to be.
Yeah.
Which would be super awesome.
So that's what I'd like. I don't know. I might have told you this. I was. There's two jobs that I almost had that I was like yes, but then I didn't hear back from them. So I was like, damn. The first was I was almost a concept artist for Blizzard.
Ooh,
I
never heard
applied
Blizzard.
for that. I applied for that, and they sent me an email saying, you have good stuff. We'd like to see you work on this and this and this. And I sent them another portfolio, and they didn't respond back. They're like, nope, this guy sucks. I'm just gonna get rid of this guy. But the other one was I was also considered as concept storyboard artist for the 3rd season of Boondocks.
Oh, really?
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, I was like, what?
That's cool. I love Boondocks.
So that was interesting. I was like, oh crap, that'd be awesome. But again, it was the same kind of thing. They didn't. They sent me an email at first showing interest, but then I guess they found somebody and they were like, okay, we're good. Sorry, you're done for. So I almost had those. The Blizzard one would have been awesome.
That would have been insane.
But there's a lot of really good artists at Blizzard.
There are.
I would not be able to compete for that.
Yeah, it's super competitive there.
Those guys are just, everything that they do, especially like the art for the cards for like Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, if I were to choose something, it would be for like Square Enix Atlas as concept artist. So
that'd be neat.
That's my answer.
Very cool.
Okay. Shoot. This is tough.
It's tough. I mean, it's easy for me.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Literally any developer. Possibly on the janitorial staff. I have no skills to bring. Like if I'm, if I had the skill, like, it's like, okay, so say you had the skill you would choose, it would probably be in shit, I don't even know. Level design, I think, would probably be my favorite.
Level design. Why not VO work?
What?
Why not VO work?
Voiceover. I guess I do have a voice for speaking.
I was gonna say you've got the voice.
Well, here's the thing. I use it so often. It's like a thing that I have. It's like,
Yeah.
It's not even something I recognize as noteworthy, even though everyone's like, you have an amazing voice. You should do voiceover. And I'm like,
Oh, there we go.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
I guess, yeah. Shit. Probably Blizzard. I would probably like to do voice work for Blizzard. Or any company, anybody hiring.
Any company.
LuciaBurrito@gmail.com.
He'll be at PAX.
Yeah, shit. That's coming up, in 3 weeks now?
Yep.
I'll be at PAX South. If anybody's going, you can see me there. I'll probably not be wearing anything recognizable. You can recognize me by the beard.
If you want an autograph, bring your own pen.
It's very likely I'll forget one. I ordered business cards because last time I was there last year, and everyone I talked to, I talked to all these developers doing small stuff, and they're like, "You had a card?" And I'm like, "No, that never occurred to me. I'm sorry." So earlier this week, I've actually been all year. I'm like, I should order business cards. And in 3 weeks, I'm like, I need to order business cards. So now I have some, and they're great. I mean, they're okay, but I have my icon on the back, just a big ass burrito.
A burrito.
There you go.
But yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a VO, man.
Voiceover or janitorial work for any company ever.
I'll be the janitor, and everyone's like, that janitor has an amazing voice. We should see if he wants to record something.
I tell you what, if you would have asked me this question 6 months ago, I would say it would be Blizzard, and it would be part of the Hearthstone design team, where now specifically I would say, because the way Hearthstone does their thing, they have two different teams that develop these expansion packs for the game. Mm-hmm. They have a kind of an early team who fleshes out all the concepts for the cards, and then you'd have a team that would finish it. Who would go in and fine tweak everything and adjust everything in the line. I would like to be part of that early team that was developing concept cards for Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna be arrogant and say, "Oh, they took my designs" and stuff like that. But for a while I was tweeting at the developers, and they would tweet back, and we would sit there and have short conversations about kind of stuff, because they'd ask people who play Hearthstone, "Hey, what kind of cards would you like to see?" And one of the things that I tweeted at one of the developers, I said, "Hey, wouldn't it be neat if Warlock had an ability to where if you tapped or used the hero power, lifesteal, and damaged you, that a card would gain, or not, I'm sorry, not that. It was if you burned a card. So if your deck, you would burn a card or have a minion on there. I said, let's have a minion. If you burn a card, it gains 1/1 stats or 2/2 stats or something of that nature."
Yeah.
So you could life tap, lose 2 health for your hero. Your card would sit there and gain stats accordingly. And they put out a card that it wasn't the next expansion, but the expansion after that was kind of similar, but it was a more honed direction.
Yeah.
And I'm like I said, I'm not saying that was me, but it was super cool to sit there and see, oh, hey, I kind of had that idea. And then there's something that's very similar to what I was sitting there saying. Is that maybe this is something that I could actually kind of do. So I guess I still love Hearthstone. I can't spend the money on Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Which is sad because ever since they changed to this new expansion where it's like, hey, we're doing a big expansion every single time now instead of the small adventure modes.
Yeah.
It's way too expensive.
Yeah.
That's all.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to quickly say that's all that I care about in Hearthstone anymore is the little single player adventure modes.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy.
Those are my favorite things. I don't even care for like going online and battling some other players online. I don't care for that really. I love the single player adventure things. Those are awesome.
So that's really fun. And now they're putting small singer. They're putting
little singers in there.
The little singer. No, they're putting small single player adventures now with the expansion packs, and your bonus that you get from completing it are card packs, but. With previously the adventure mode, the adventures that you couldn't get legendaries along the way too, which kind of helped people who couldn't afford to sit there and spend like massive amount of money.
Yeah,
I tried to keep up with that, and at like it was 3 expansions, and at that point I was like, I can't do this. This is nuts.
Yeah.
So. But I'd say that's what I'd be. I'd love to join the Hearthstone team and design cards in the early stages and let somebody else finish the work for me.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. There we go.
So there you have it. Those are the emails for the week. Thank you to Carbine. I can't talk, guys. Thank you, Carbine and Icarus, for sending in those emails. Once again, if you want to have your voice heard on the VGBits, I almost screwed it up again. I am broken today. If you want to have your voice heard on the VGBits BitCast, send your emails to bitcast@vgbits.com, bitcast@vgbits.com. We will read them. So thank again, guys. And guys, thanks for joining the podcast this week.
Also, Merry Christmas. And
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays.
Yeah, whatever holiday you celebrate.
Yeah. Whatever you celebrate.
Awesome.
Hope it's a good one.
You get lots of expensive toys. Happy New Year
in 2018 with net neutrality and
eat your black-eyed peas.
Dead.
Eat your black-eyed peas.
Yeah. Eat your black-eyed peas.
I hated black-eyed peas as a kid growing up.
Do.
I don't eat them at all still. Yeah. But my parents would like mash them up and then mix them into mashed potatoes just to make sure I would eat them for every New Year's.
That's so crazy.
It is.
We'll have a talk with your parents. I think like every family has that. Just like, eat your black-eyed peas. I'm like, they're disgusting. It's for good luck. I don't need that right now.
It didn't work for a lot of people in 2017.
Yeah.
No, but I think nobody ate their black-eyed peas.
Nobody did.
No.
Well, that's
Nintendo
what you get for not eating your black-eyed peas.
Eat your damn vegetables, people. I'm sorry.
Nintendo did. They ate theirs.
Oh, hell yeah.
They had a banner year.
It's true.
Yeah. But yeah, awesome.
So thanks again, guys. This has been the VGBits BitCast, episode 13. We will see y'all. See?
Oh, you're really struggling. English.
Words, how do good. We'll see y'all next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.